Today we're going to be looking at the application called Duolingo. It's an excellent tool for helping to learn a language, which would benefit any ESL class, and yay, it's free. To set up the application, you go to duolingo.com, or you can download the app, and then you follow the prompts to set up an account. So we go over here to Duolingo and we get started. Now, for a typical ESL class, what you would do is click on the language you want to learn is English. Since that is the native language here, we'll click on French just so we get an idea, and it's fun. Now, either the teacher can set up how often the student goes on to practice, or the student can do it themselves. We'll stick with regular. 10 minutes a day is our goal. And since I'm new to French, I would start at the basics, but for any of our students that this isn't their first ESL class, they could try the placement test. And we start the test. And you have a few prompts. Some of them are in French, some of them are in English, and you have to type it. I have absolutely no idea what this is. So normally I would type it in, right? Type it in, and then I check. Clearly it's wrong, but that's okay. If it was right, it would come up green. You hit continue. It takes about 5 minutes, and it tells you where you are in your English practice, so you know where to begin your lesson. So we'll quit because, okay. And then we come here, and we would go to basics. And when we begin, and we have our lessons. And we go through, and these are just the beginning parts of the language. They have tips and notes. They have different study guides for grammar that we'll be using in these lessons. And each lesson you go through is pretty much like that. So I started one already just so we could see. So the nice thing about this is it tracks how far you're going, how much work you've done. See, Friday I was excellent and did a lot of studying. Okay, we can go to words, which I think is really great. And it shows the student and the teacher what words they're really strong at, what words they need a lot more practice on. So obviously I do not know what ça va means, so it comes up with a little red dot. So I know I need some more practice with that word. Also, there's a section for discussions, and either have discussions from everyone, or you can create your own and stick it in there. Now, if you're setting it up for the teacher version, it will just be you and your students. So it will just be your class on there. If you do have it in an open setup, then obviously the teacher needs to monitor what the discussions are going on, make sure they're appropriate. But these discussions are great because it can help students either discuss what they're learning. Maybe they need a little more help. They don't want to ask the teacher. They can ask one of their peers, or say they got one wrong. They can get clarification as to why. The other nice thing about Duolingo, okay, is they give you these little, these are called lingots, little points. And the more practice you do, the more they add up. Okay, and you get more, right? And they show you it down here. And you can even do it so with your class around here, they'll show you like who's ahead, who needs more practice, who's been practicing a lot, which is great for your students at like competition, help them work a little bit more. So it's a great app, has a lot of variety, grammar, vocabulary, all things that are useful, and it keeps going and it stays up to date with your skill level. And even though this tool looks simple, it is a great resource for students. Learning a language requires a lot of repetition, which this app provides. It also provides the necessary repetition and practice for words or phrases that students are having trouble with. It can be an excellent resource for differentiated learning. It incorporates listening, writing, or in our case, typing, speaking, and the use of visuals. And it also allows you to use a microphone so it can gauge your speaking performance and your accent and how well you're saying the words, which is really great for the students for their practice. And in the teacher version, the teacher can monitor and track the student's progress. Plus, if set up, the students can see how other students are doing, so they can see where they're at with their language learning if they need more practice on their own. And it's great that since it's an app, you can use it on any device that you have. You can use it in the classroom. You can use it at home. which is wonderful because more practice, the better. And as I said before, it's free, so there is no reason not to give it a try.